Today is May 24th in the year of 2024. The time is now 10:58 a.m. Tampa, Florida, and I think it's at 92 or 96 degrees. I can't remember. Dear fake family, and fraud friends, I need my mail. You all have had a great time spending up money that was supposed to come to my children and I. You've had a great time laughing at me, walking around with dirty fingernails because I don't have electricity and running water and have to barbecue in order to eat a hot meal or get over to some church somewhere. Okay, and God said it's over. He said it's over. Please get me my mail. I don't communicate with you guys. Definitely not for the last 2 years. But you know my family member, and I keep begging my family to give me my mail. So Donnie Dwayne Flowers of 1316 East 15th Avenue in Ybor City across from Academy Prep, if you forwarded my mail to your house, get my mail to 6010 North 32nd Street and just tell them that the owner of the mail will be coming to pick it up. Thomas Stewart. I saw them boys riding deep, 7 deep. You even command American security, huh? They came through here looking for me in a couple of those Heartline trucks. God told me to tell you to stop. God wanted to save you. And he kept telling me to tell you things, and I was just afraid to address you because the people you had following my children and I, it's like, you must be a part of the mafia. The lady Cheryl kept following us on the bus. And then she said, can your daughter go with me so I can go back and get my book bag? I left it. And I'm so stupid, I don't even know this lady trying to kidnap my daughter. I told Angola, run back there and get her book bag and bring it. If I was any simpler, my children would have been kidnapped away from me. It's not okay. And it doesn't make any sense to go deeper into, the pit of despair. Okay? So get right and do it now. Everything was going well until you offered me cocaine 3 different times. I was willing to marry you. I thought you were a great guy. But look at what I'm finding out. It was all a facade. But it can be true. So get right. And go to the courts and tell them people that you know Alene Atkins did not marry you. That you took a criminal, imposter, a doppelganger into the courts. So you're the one with the connections to Thomas Kelly or Kelly Thomas, the police officer that pulled me over February 9th, 2022 as I was on my way to Amelie Oil to work my 3 to 11 shift. She took my driver's license and the tag out of my car. What did y'all do with my driver's license? Y'all went and cashed some checks, put together a fraudulent marriage. What else did y'all do? Let me continue. If you have mail for me, Thomas Stewart of Lands, Landsome Apartments on Livingston and Bears behind the Planet Fitness Plaza. Please get my mail to 6010 North 32nd Street, put it in a bag, tie it up, and tell whoever is there that the owner is coming for it. And I'm coming for my house too. James Johnson of River Pines. You, India, and Bennett probably wasn't a part of it, but if you forwarded mail to your house there, pack my mail up and take it to 6010 North 32nd Street so I can get my mail. Stop opening my mail. Stop cashing checks. Stop using any kind of cards of mine. Okay? Lawrence, I don't know. I'm being told to include you. So Lawrence Alexander Cambridge of 32, what is your address? 3202 3212 East Jean Street, on the corner of 32nd Street and Jean Avenue in Tampa, Florida. If you and or Rita and or Veronica Davis and or Carolyn, your next door neighbor, have any of my mail, the only thing I sent to your house was my security guard blue card license. I didn't send any other mail to your house. So if you have any of my mail, please put it in a bag, take it to 6010 North 32nd Street. Whoever answers the door, say the owner is coming for this mail. It's important that you hold it for her. Please and thank you. Letitia Karima Penn, you always like to pull up at the mailbox at 6010 North 32nd Street. So you may very well have some of my mail too. If any of you all are still alive and free, because I don't know who's where. Bag my mail up, sister girl, and get it to 6010 North 32nd Street for me, please. Tansy Liznet Hammond, if you got any of my mail, bag it up. Take it to 6010 North 32nd Street and let whoever answers the door know she's coming to get her mail. If this does not work, Amoon Atkins is on Instagram. Get in touch with Amoon. Give him my mail or tell him that you couldn't deliver it to the house so that I can get my mail, or call the FBI. Maybe they'll, let me see. Yeah, call Amoon and let him know you're trying to get me my mail. Who else is there over the last 10 years? Abraham Vada Jones and your mother wife, Martha O'Donnell. Where y'all stay? 6214 North 42nd Street. If y'all have any of my mail, I don't think your daughter and son would get involved, but they might. Your sister, I keep hearing on the tarot readings that a sister is involved. I know you have a couple of brothers. At this point, I'm thinking Martha O'Donnell must have been a foster mom, and there's a bunch of foster children, and you all consider yourself sisters and brothers. Do you know Bobby Jones? I'm talking to Abraham Vada Jones. Do you know Bobby Jones? I dated a Bobby Jones my senior year at Armwood. That would have been 1988. And he had a sister named Brenda. She married Cecil. And I'm still trying to get my notebook with them 100 poems and songs in it. It's the kind of thing you would have held on to. You know, a lot of hard work went into that. John Isaac Frazier, Jay, Julia, your wife. If y'all got any of my mail, bag it up for me, okay? Miss Leaks, Michael Leaks. I don't know how deep this shit go. Eric, Tia. If y'all got any of my mail, bag it up and get it to me. Who else is there? Johnny Will Lofton. I don't know whether you faked your death or you really dead. Same thing with Lawrence. I don't know if you're alive or dead. I started to believe you were maybe alive, so I stopped coming to visit you at your grave, you and Charlene. Lord help me remember anybody else. Some little truck driver guy I met at the laundromat. I think it was Dominique Davis's husband. What is his name? I just put a picture up on Texas. I just put a picture up on my YouTube, but I really think that Paul Hanner Jr. is hacking my YouTube channel. Some videos are allowed to go up, some are not. Almost all of it gets edited before it goes up. And I have no real control over it. I keep seeing this white van with the green at the bottom. And God said he's in it. And he's parked somewhere close by in my phone. Now, Paul is a very bougie metrosexual male. So he ain't really got no business in the deep, dirty hood like this. But Paul Hanner Jr., I guess I might as well include your dad. He walked up to me one day and said, "Have you heard from Paul?" I said, "No, I ain't seen Paul in 20 years since I was pregnant with my twins. I've talked to Paul maybe 5 or 6 times through that 20-year time on the phone." So if y'all have any of my mail, any of your wives, and I don't know what's going on in your life, okay? So I'm just talking about what I used to know. Or your children, because you should have children old enough. Well, I don't know if you even have children, but stepchildren maybe that would be old enough. And I know you had a bunch of brothers and sisters, Sydney and Sid, the one that was with Dr. York, that's Sad. And then I think there's a Sydney, can't remember your sister's name, but if y'all have any of my mail, pack it up and get it to me, please. Texas, Clarence Joseph Washington Jr. That's my Sensei East. And I should have left it there. I shouldn't have let that fat ass Natalie talk me into that other shit. That hood shit that never happened. If you have my mail, any of your wives, Mahogany Black, aka she was married when she came to the Good Samaritan, if that was her. I really think it was. And her original name was Angela. She changed it because of some white collar crime. She embezzled a large amount of money and went to prison. If you have any of my mail, get me my stuff. Natalie Renee Carnegie, get me my mail, please. Michael Jones, the guy you were doing the football combines with. Y'all seem to be hanging pretty heavy. Get me my stuff. Wesley Allen, the astrologer, if you have any of my stuff. If any of the first hood y'all had, Elizabeth, your wife, West, the astrologer, and East, Amma, what is her name? Lisa Leonard of Lakeland, or Asia. I think Asia goes by Rosa now. And your children, shit, all your children grown now. Angola's 17. Well, you probably had a couple more after Angola when you left Tampa in the day of her birth, February 25th, 2007. You probably done had some more churn, but the ones that you already had, the 10 from Asia, the 1 from the 2 from Saida. Did you have more than 2 for Saida? And the 2 that you had before you left Galveston, Texas. Angola needs an iPad. It's only like $600. And she got, 17 brothers and sisters? So link us up with some of her sisters, the 2 in New York for sure. Asia, I have been thinking about you a lot. You remind me of Solara Speaks. I don't know if you are Solara. If you are, you're doing a phenomenal job, and thank you for the wonderful information. I haven't talked to Amma in quite some time. When we were in Atlanta, we were leaving Boston, leaving Millie Henry's house. Millie, your mama Gerda, your roommate, and then you had a friend that had a store. Sarah's grown now. I went online and kind of looked you all up not too long ago. Ishua should be grown now. Rasheen got to be near grown. Amar, Keller, hey, how y'all doing? If you have my mail, get me my mail, mama. And I want to say to all of you all, There's 8 billion people in the world. And I know I seem soft and I seem like I ain't gonna do nothing if you take my stuff. I'ma pray. Y'all should see me here with my lotus bead prayer chain, doing my little 109 prayers over and over again, 12 to 20 times a day. And God said that's work, and He's going to pay me for my work, and He's going to get my stuff that y'all done stole. I'm getting it all back, plus punitive damages. So would you please release me from your little fraud list, from your lick list? All of y'all, all of y'all, let me go. You got it? And anybody that you met through me, Donnie Dwayne Flowers, if you forwarded my mail to your house, 1316 East 15th Avenue, because you had the same house number as my mom, and hers is 1316 Keel, Keel, Valrico, Florida, 33594. And they done stole that house, and they're trying to keep it out of the court records now. It don't even show up as a part of my mother's estate, and she left 6 pieces of property, and her will said share equally among the 4 children, Anthony, Ava, Alva, and Alene. Now, 1316 Kill Place, Valrico, Florida, 33594. That was 1. 6010 North 32nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610. My childhood home where we grew up there with Arthur Atkins, my daddy, and Dorothy Jean Atkins, my mama. One house, whole lifetime. That's the way it was back then. 2212 East Mallory Avenue, where I gave birth to my last baby, Abby Dose Atkins, and June 14th, 2010. Paid $3,300 that Letitia Karima Penn loaned me. We were allegedly friends back then, but I think I was a lick for her the whole time. She was studying me and planning to take over my life. That's why when we had the conversation about law school, she's like, oh, I don't have to go and get a bachelor's degree to go to law school. She got an AA degree, and she said she was going straight to law school. And I'm like, no, you got to go get a bachelor's before you can go work on your Juris Doctorate. And if you want to be a judge at some point, you stay 1 more year and get the LLM. I was just over there in October at Stetson because I wanted to graduate from Stetson in St. Pete. And I went and asked if I could meet the provost, the dean of the school. And they're like, oh, well, he doesn't have time. And if I were you, I would talk to the assistant dean first. And the way they were treating me, I took Stetson off my list. And I decided I don't even need to meet the dean. If this is the way his underlings are treating me, that's because that's the way he trained them to treat people. So I'm not going to Stetson. I don't know where I'll end up going to law school. I was supposed to take a Harvard business law class, but my money never came because y'all took it. Went to Jamaica. Some of y'all done sent some overseas. Y'all parlayed, got your cars, your little cream-colored Jaguar. Alva got a red Lexus. Anthony was riding around in a silver 300 E-Class. Ava was still riding around in her black Nissan, but you know she got something else somewhere else. She's a Scorpio. They hide shit. Cousin Toy Smith. I don't know if you still staying in Grandma Irene's house over here on 20th Avenue by the railroad track, you and Vince and your boyfriend. But if y'all got some of my mail, ask Tarek, Tasha, Tammy, all y'all. Can y'all get me my mail, please? Ask Fahim, and Egypt is the daughter, right? No, Egypt is his wife. Paris is the daughter. Paris, King, and what's the little baby name? Paris. I can't remember, but y'all get me my mail. At some point, there has to be an end to things, okay? God said I shall live and not die. So I forgive you guys, okay? I'm finally to the point where I can forgive you. I was talking to a moon yesterday, talking about how angry I was to get me an aluminum bat and bip Anthony upside his knees and his kneecap and see if some sense might not flow in, you know? Just because you're stronger than a person and you're older than a person doesn't mean you should bully them because you have needs. I have needs. Y'all feel like, oh, well, she could walk around with her kids and catch the bus and we'll take the car and, send it to the chop shop and get money off of it because she don't seem to care. I do care. I just care about people first. I care about how people feel emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychically, etherically. I care about that first. And then materials. See, if you have the right attitude, God will send you things. Just like Mr. Lawrence gave me that car, and Ava, you seem to be so mad. Were you the one taking parts off the car? You and Sam Lewis, your car lot owning boyfriend? Y'all gotta do better. Y'all grown as hell. Y'all got grown children now. You can't be doing shit like this. This is the age of Aquarian. As soon as you do that shit, it's gonna show. And karma gonna be right at your door, like within 30 days. It ain't taking no time now. And don't be blaming me for whatever jail time, federal time you get. Don't be blaming me if they learn about other crimes that you did. Don't blame me because I didn't do it. I simply tried to get justice for my children and I. We land here in a very peaceful place. We call it the Ragamuffin Mansion, and I'm very grateful and thankful. Well, I'm not going to say the name because I hope y'all still don't know where I am. A couple of people do know, and they sending people through here to shoot me up and shit to try to kill me because they did wrong. Going to church and shit and still won't fall on their knees and say, God, I have sinned. I am sorry. Please help me. I'm going to go and tell the police, the FBI, everything I did. Throw myself on the mercy of the court and stop trying to kill this lady who ain't do nothing to me. Thomas, stop coming for me. I do want y'all to know I'm still with the shit. I got my shit bags. And yes, I plan to kill you if you come trying to hurt me. First, you're going to get hit with some shit, though. I done already trained my girls. We're going to do everything it takes to live and not die. They don't have the right to come pursuing my life. Want to human traffic your children. You masturbating at their house thinking it's a private thing. And they done put it on the dark web. Shit is despicable. Going through people's navel, taking their eggs to sell them to get money. This shit is despicable. Giving me water, drinks, food that's got roofies in it and letting people come in and have sex with me and I don't even know. As far as I know, the last person I had sex with was Mr. Lawrence. And Mr. Lawrence so-called died, according to his daughter Rita Cambridge, July 13th of 2020. So as far as I know, ain't another penis went inside my vagina. And now I don't even come to y'all houses to hang out no more. The last time I was at Donnie's house, God told me to go in the bathroom and sleep against the door. Now, why would God tell me to sleep against the door? Y'all had some shit planned, huh? Now that I've been laying here, definitely these last couple of years, thinking God has been bringing things to my remembrance. And I guess I have to take some fault in being disobedient to God. And that's how I ended up in a lot of these situations. I want to make sure I name everybody. I said Clarence Joseph Washington Jr., Go-Go's daddy, Sensei. If you have my mail, you can send my motherfucking mail from Texas. And y'all know how to get around. Y'all been getting around for years. I want to say a special thank you to Asia, okay? You had a girlfriend in Orlando somewhere. Shanice, the one that you married on paper. If y'all got my paper over there in Orlando. get me my mail. And I would love it if you would write a confession and put it in there too. This is what I took. This is why I took it. And I apologize. I know I upset people sometimes, being a Sag on the cusp of Scorpio. Thank you for confirmation, Michael, with the choo-choo train. I upset people because I try to be honest, and sometimes I'm blunt. And I think people appreciate honesty, but I'm learning that people don't appreciate honesty. Now, Mr. John Waldron just went through my head. So John Waldron of J.L. Young Apartments over there off of Bird and Florida. Your nieces, Carolyn Waldron out of Arkansas, where? Kansas City. Her two boys, Brian and Michael, I'm assuming last name Waldron. Michael's girlfriend, Kenyatta, the Delta, what do you call them people? Airline attendant. And two twin girls are now grown. Shit, so Michael's two twin girls are now grown, so they can do fraud shit too. And Nola is the new baby, right? Whose baby is that? Brian's baby? Ryan's baby? And then you got Margie, the one that used to pick me up and bring me to see you when you were in St. Joseph's Hospital there with that kidney infection. And you said there was one more Waldron girl. What was her name? And a couple of boys, grown boys. One was kind of like homeless. Was that the one that I met that was going to try to, I'm alleging, cut out one of my organs? I met him at Trinity. On a Friday. We met the next day, Saturday. This was in October. I was trying to find us a room in somebody's house that we could rent out. Me and the girls would have a safe place and also clean up and help, elderly person, and have a place where we could be stable with electricity and running water. And he and I jumped on a bus 14 and went over to that golf community. What's the name of it? Babe Sahara's. And I was supposed to meet Cheryl. She was going to do a angel oracle reading for me and maybe give me the room in exchange for cleaning and helping her. The dog stopped walking. And I said, what's wrong? And it gave me time to think about everything. This man didn't have on a jacket, and we were on an air-conditioned bus. When we got off at the 7-Eleven, Circle K, can't remember which store is on that corner when you get off. But he put his jacket on, a big, thick flannel jacket with insulation in the inside. Then he asked me to go get him a cup of ice out of the store. And I'm like, wait a minute. This man put on a jacket. It's hot as hell outside. He ain't had a jacket on in the air-conditioned bus. He asked me to go get him a cup of ice. I got a dog, a bag of pantry food, and my book bag. And then he starts walking way ahead of me like we not together. So when the dog stopped, that allowed him to get a lot in front of me. And he bent the corner down into the golf community. And God said, hey, fool, don't you carry your ass down around that corner. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's going on? Cup of ice, jacket. Bitch, they finna cut out your kidney. See, I didn't even think kidney. I didn't know what it was. I thought heart. So it was a kidney. So he gonna get me around the corner, probably toss me in a bush, or maybe they do have a house that they go butcher people in. Take my motherfucking kidney, put it on ice, and take it to who? John Waldron? I'm just speaking out of the thoughts that are coming out of my head. Some of them are dropping into my head just as we're talking. And God said, bitch, you better get your ass back on that bus. I picked that motherfucking dog up. My bag, I lost the grocery. Wait a minute, I handed him the grocery bag. So he got the food. And I ran back to bus 14, got on that motherfucker. When I got downtown to the Marion Transfer Center, a police officer, or a fake police officer lady, she's posing as a police officer, she's not a real one, walked up to me and she was like laughing. You know how there's a show on Wild 'N Out. Nick Cannon does it. Try not to laugh, something like that. You have water in your mouth and you have to try not to laugh. And you know how you're holding back your laughter? Her cheeks were extended and she was trying not to laugh. She looked at me and she was like trying not to laugh. Like, this bitch made it. Yeah, she made it back alive because she's learning to listen to the Creator God. So I think that is everybody. Oscar, you keep coming up in my mind. Now, Oscar, I ain't talked to you in for sure 10 years. I know you were going to be running for mayor. And an O keeps coming up. Now, the O could be O'Donnell, Martha O'Donnell, Abraham, Lotta Jones's mom. But for some reason, Oscar, you keep coming up in my thought process. So perhaps you're the angel that is looking for me and trying to help me. Who else do I need to address? Chauncey, you keep coming up in my readings lately. I was supposed to write a paper for you. You gave me the notes years ago, and I didn't write the paper. I apologize. Once I started writing, I kept having so many questions, and you were working at the Salvation Army downtown, and I couldn't really get to talk to you too much. That was way too much work for $200 anyway. And I know even though I gave you your $200 back, you still couldn't get that time back. So I do apologize, and I do want to make that up to you in some way. So if you've been doing voodoo or black magic against me, I understand. I forgive you because you probably didn't graduate with your master's at that time. They keep talking about somebody is studying you and they're writing some kind of master's paper on you. I can't think of anybody else. Pray for me and my children, peace, prosperity, and protection. Alene Dorothea Atkins, 6010 North 32nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610, signing out. Still alive, still in Tampa, Florida. Since the eviction from my childhood home at 6010 North 32nd Street, June 2nd, 2022, God said it wasn't real, despite the fact that there were 4 Tampa police officers and 4 Hillsborough County Sheriff officers, spearheaded by Officer Say, S-A-E-Y, 6 foot, about 2, kind of chubby, black, light-skinned, bald-headed man. And then we found solace again at Dr. Twiggs's place at 3304 East Hillsborough Avenue, and they came again with some fake paperwork to put us out. That was July, almost a year, July 25th, 2023. And then we came straight here where we are now. So this July we will have been here for about a year. And I know that Abraham Jones's family got something to do with it, because Tamika Jones was on the first papers that evicted me from 6010 or 32nd Street with an illegal detainer. Tamika was the clerk that I went to put in my answer to the eviction. And I tried to include a big, thick packet with the papers that I was given from Evelyn Rosado and A Plus Property. She said, I don't need that. They already got it. I said, I want you to send this to the judge. That bitch did not send it to the judge. Now, she's a clerk in the clerk's office. She's supposed to do what the customer requests, and she didn't do that. I don't even think she sent it up to the judge at all. I think she was paid to make sure the judge didn't get it. So the second time we got evicted from Dr. Twiggs's place, July 24th or 25th of 2023, the name had changed from Tamika Jones to Tamika Suttle, Suttle, or Suttel. So maybe she got married, or maybe she just did some more fraud shit and changed the name. So y'all need to get it together here in Hillsborough County. 13th Judicial Circuit Court Chief Judge Ronald Figueroa. Are you pretending that your name is Christopher Isabella? I'm pretty sure that's a crime. Judge Catherine G. Esrick, you owe me. Judge, what's that lady name? The fat pig nose looking lady. Barbara Twine Thomas, you owe me. You owe my children 20 years of life. Really more than that, because if they had been raised by me, they would be emotionally, mentally, psychically, etherically, physically whole. And you robbed them of that so that you could get your little judge seat. You were an attorney then. Let this be a lesson. You never know how karma is going to come back to you. I know you didn't think back in 2004 when you lied and said to the judge, well, you know, Your Honor, she crazy. She ain't been taking her medicine, and you lied against my mental health status. You never thought that 20 years later it would come back to bite you in the ass, did you? And Catherine G. Esrick either, but I've been praying against your peace ever since you said she needs to take a psychological evaluation. We're not going to allow her to continue to represent herself pro se, because I called it a kangaroo court. It was a kangaroo court, probably still is. And I said to you, I'll do the psychological evaluation, but it has to be in court so that I can pay for my own stenographer so that we can have truth. Because at the time, RTI, Record Transcripts Incorporated, the Tomasi family out of New York, might be the mafia also. They were butchering the transcripts. I paid good money for recordings of hearings, and they would just bleep out what I said and say two people were talking at one time. It was inaudible. So Tomasi's, y'all owe me too. I know y'all got a house over there in New York y'all can gift me, and a couple of cars. I pray and hope that all of your deeds will return to you 100-fold. And in the words of Chief Judge Mendez, you too. Trish Waterman, you too, from the 700 East Twigs, the place where I used to go see my children. And Keisha Riggins, Aisha, that was the guardian ad litem, Aisha Lewis Klug, Klugh, she got married. She was the attorney for the guardian ad litem. Alexis Mason, the attorney, assistant attorney general. Then there was another one who filed a restraining order against me, pretending like she was afraid of me. Then gonna get on the elevator with me. But y'all played a lot of dirty games, and all them incompetent attorneys. Not incompetent because they didn't know what to do, but incompetent because they didn't want to do what I requested, which was to file a motion to dismiss, because there was never any probable cause to take my children. Henry Noble, I just passed by your office last week. Angela Bridget Wright, Norman Palumbo Jr., again attorney Barbara Twine Thomas. There was another attorney, he was Spanish. He was smart. He dipped out real quick. I can't remember his name. But until you do right by me, prayerfully, 50% at least of what you do gonna fail. Now that's from Whoopi Goldberg's character, Celie, in The Color Purple. My children, a moon and a set, y'all need to include them in your will. You took a lot from them, and you need to remember them at your time of death and bless them. And me too, Alene Dorothea Atkins. So I'm closing this out. My children and I will have a great summer. They will attend summer camps. They will get their golf carts. They will get brand new computers. They will have an allowance card that I can put $100 a week on so that they can have a great summer. And you will find me and give me a financial donation. I think I'm going to come down there and peacefully protest in front of that little Marine spirit y'all got out there who's posing as Lady Justice with one hand high and one hand low outside of 800 East Twiggs Avenue. So y'all go ahead and get some gift cards and any computers that you might have, keys to any cars that you might have, because my children need vehicles, any kind of money orders, cash bonds, and you hand them to me. Alene Dorothea Atkins, the one with one tooth up top, because she wasn't able to take care of herself after you all decided to politically murder her character and kill her Reality Speaks TV show that would have been syndicated by now. And she would have been making plenty of money. She would have been attorney Alene Atkins by now. She would have been Dr. Alene Atkins Esquire. And you all sought to kill that because I was highlighting the wrongs you were doing instead of you going to God and praying and saying, you know, I want to get right. Show me how. You all decided to use police officers, sheriff officers, attorneys, lawyers, doctors. Dr. Alberts, you too. You're still over there at Davis Island. Dr. Lisa Gaze, you still over there on Waters and Del Mabry. You too. And right your wrongs. I have $0 in my pocket right now, and I need several things. I have to go out into the world, wherever I need help, pray for a couple of hours, and ask God to identify the people that I can ask to help me in order to get help. And thank you to the people that bought me boxers, food, soda, paper towels, and another 128 gigabyte SD card at Walmart. I really appreciate it. May your blessings return 100-fold. Attorney Robbins, Robbins. He was supposed to handle my appellate. What do you call it? Appeal, and pretended he was sick with cancer, or maybe God did smite him with cancer because he wouldn't properly represent me. You include me in your will too, or your family can, if you really did get cancer and die. You attorneys, you people that take oaths, you got to understand that just because nobody's standing over you and watching over you to make sure you're doing right, the creator of this universe sees you and heard that oath. And when you take an oath, you better take it serious. You could lose your life behind taking bribes and these little backdoor deals. You'll see how it turns out. You heap hot coals upon your children and your grandchildren. You want to wonder why your grandchildren are born with diseases or why your children's marriages break up. It's karma that comes back. You did the wrong, but then your children and your grandchildren have to suffer from the wrongs you did. Get it together. Alene Atkins here in Tampa, Florida. Kind of hiding out because people want to kill me because I'm telling my truth. Some of them want my organs because I'm Rh negative, and even though I'm 53, I have the body of a 23-year-old. And that's even with the poisoning and the heavy spell work that you all have thrown my way. And I may have aged a little bit, like 30, my thighs sagging, my booty sagging, but we know how to get that back right. And I need a couple of cases of coconuts. I'm laying here right now, headed up to San Juan, so that somebody can bless me with 2 cases of coconuts so I can get my electrolytes back right. A lot of FBI, CIA, DOJ, you guys, a lot of diesels have been going through here lately. I think that means something. Diesel trucks coming down this street lately. Peace. Signing out at 11:43 a.m. May 24th in the year of 2024, Tampa, Florida.